My name is Miguel, my handle is Fisher, I'm from Porto, Portugal. Well, I guess that started back in high school, like many of the current hackers nowadays. I found a way to send messages between Windows computers when I was in the library. So like my friends were on the other computers and I would just pop a black box on their Windows computer, and I don't know, I think it started a bit from there. And then when I was in college, I started digging into a bit more on the subject. When you get a big vulnerability, the high you get from it, the adrenaline, the thrill is really, you cannot describe that. You just have to feel that. And for example, as a gamer, when you get a high issue or a critical issue is as good of a feeling as being the best on a game like League of Legends or Counter-Strike or Fortnite, whatever kids nowadays are playing. The thrill of finding a big bug is you cannot put it into words. If you are a hacker yourself, then you understand how it is when you find a critical bug. It's the adrenaline, the rush, the sort of pleasure, the reward, because sometimes you are grinding hours and hours, days and days, weeks and weeks until you find something. And when you do, it's like, okay, all of this was really worth it. For me, a hacker is someone who thinks outside of the box and tries to change how things function so that they do other stuff. Because nowadays the term hacking is pejorative, right? So people think that hackers are bad and they do illegal stuff and so on. But when you think about the real hackers, you can, for example, remember MacGyver. He was the OC hacker, right? He was creative, he was finding solutions with things that you could find. And in sort of the same way, a hacker nowadays, a digital hacker, is someone who, for example, picks up a phone, who is supposed to do calls, and he can turn it into something that does more, like you can play games or send messages or whatever. So being part of the HackerOne community is really a huge thing, because you are basically around the best hackers around the world, like literally. The type of things that you see on the activity, the type of vulnerabilities that they are disclosed, you don't see this anywhere. So to be part of this community is like amazing. Yeah, so one of them is really Andre, who has had such a huge success. And one of his latest bugs was the Shopify, and he was also the MVH. So he's a great guy, and he knows a lot. So to hang out with him is also amazing. The best piece of swag? I have to say it's the tank tops. I love them. Just and with this weather, it's perfect. The community is probably the thing that distinguishes from the other platforms. And besides that, like the type of clients you see on HackerOne, you don't see them anywhere else. My first advice is don't give up, because in the beginning, getting into bug bounty and security in general, it is intimidating. And I said this before, but I think the security world and the bug bounty world is one of the most opening communities. So as long as you put in the effort. As long as you are good, you'll get accepted in the community. And if you are starting, the thing you have to have more in consideration is you need to grind. You need to put in the hours, because security is not easy. You have to master, or at least know, lots of subjects, both in breadth and in depth. Just take your time, don't rush it, and also pick your targets well. I mean, if you go for a really big target, like, I don't know, Google, Facebook, Uber, you might have some problems, because those are the programs that most of the people hack on, and they have a good security posture as well. So try to identify another program that maybe doesn't have as many rewards, but that you can build up the experience on it.